Hello and welcome to the Needs Languages Lesson 2 on the individual needs. In the Needs Languages Parenting booklet, the book on page 5, we start to talk about where the needs languages come from. Jung and Hippocrates were some of the forefathers of many of our personality models. However, there seem to be some things that were missing from current personality models. And what I felt was missing were some of the things around belonging and communication. By using some of the same research that other personality models used, and by adding some communication components and some things around belonging, we came up with the needs languages. Personally, I believe that the way our personality communicates, it creates the space that we're in. And so this is demonstrated in the words we speak and by our body language. I spoke with a parent who knew what her child's personality communicated was at the time when he was 1 year old. Now, many times parents can tell at a young age what their child is communicating in their personality. However, many times we don't fully know how to connect or communicate because we haven't learned those skills yet. In other words, we aren't teaching our kids how to navigate their personality in the space to create that healthy belonging because we don't know ourselves, because we weren't taught ourselves. So many of us weren't taught these skills when we were growing up. Many of us were silenced because our parents didn't know how to listen to themselves. So how could they listen to us? Let's look at a few sayings that explain speaking who we are. We speak what we think and what we believe about ourselves and others. We speak what is in our subconscious mind, and many times we don't even realize that what we are saying, and we often repeat it over and over and over again. From an unknown source, if you want to know someone's mind, listen to their words. If you want to know their heart, watch their actions. From J.K. Rowling, it is our choice. It is our choices that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities. From Stephen R. Covey, the biggest communication problem is we do not listen to understand. We listen to reply. Jesus said, out of our heart, the mouth speaks. There, he's referring to when people say bad intentions, but it could mean many other reasons. When what's in our heart, we speak. Solomon talked about in Proverbs how our spoken words are either life-giving or they make people sick, they're death. Solomon also says what a person thinks in their heart, they are. Children are great imitators, so give them something great to imitate. That was from someone that's an unknown source. Kids don't remember what you try to teach them. They remember who you are. Jim Henson. Every day, in 100 small ways, our children ask, do you hear me? Do you see me? Do I matter? Their behavior often reflects our response. LRK Nost. This is one of my favorites. Watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. By the Tao. If you have good thoughts, they will shine out of your face like sunbeams, and you will always look lovely. Roald Dahl. Children are not things to be molded, but people to be unfolded. Jess Lar. I think Jess Lar is saying when you unfold, you discover what is truly inside. I've come to believe that each of us has a personal calling that's as unique as a fingerprint. And the best way to succeed is to discover what you love and then find a way to offer it to others in the form of service working hard, and also allowing the energy of the universe to lead you. And that was from Oprah Winfrey. We speak what we think. We speak who we are. There are many books out there that talk about this. That is why I brought in different sayings from different places, from different people, from different resources. Even though there are basic patterns that show our design, the fingerprint is uniquely ours. What I'm saying is the formula is unique. It's like a tree. Each trees have the same pattern, but where the branches come out is a uniquely different for each tree. How the leaves form, and each leaf is uniquely different. So let's unfold this a little bit more. So as I was developing the needs languages, I used my personal experience, my educational background in conflict resolution and psychology, and research to develop the needs languages. So there are 4 needs. We each speak 2 out of the 4. For this lesson, we're only going to cover the individual needs. Here are the 4 needs, and they're no order. So we call right, R. C is control, important is I, and value is V. The needs are defined as followed. Remember, these are individual needs. When influenced by another need, things can change just a little bit. And there are other things that influence this as well. So R or right, these are belief. This is the belief. And it's about one or the other, good versus bad, right versus wrong. This is thinking for the best. And this is also when an R decides something, they stick with it. They've made up their mind. And this is what's important to know. It can have a hard time changing. These are the important things to know, or the vital things to know. I shouldn't say important because we'll go to important in a second. Vital things to know because it gives you the ability to know how to work within the confines of how you're processing information. R can be rigid and can eat, but however, R, because of the way they think, can easily manifest something once they believe it. It is the strongest of all of them in belief if they can put their energy towards that. They need time to process something new or different than how they see it once they've got it locked in to how they see it. And you typically know where you stand with this individual if they're locked into it. So C, or control people, they're about your environment. They like to know all the steps in a process because they're about the environment. They're about that whole environment. So they'll feel out of control when they don't know all the steps. They can struggle with fear or worry. They're about the record, like the past, the record meaning what is going on. That's why they like to know the details. They often like to herd people, like a mom likes to. She'll remember what you did in the past, so she kind of herds you to make sure that you're safe. They are big on safety. C is a very observant of what is going on around them. And they are very cautious when making decisions. And they present themselves in a very almost robotic control type of way. You can really see a C when they're in action or motion. So many times they feel they're very systematic, they have lists. And C is very usually, if someone has a high C or they're in this big C, they are usually very patient people. So let's go to important. Important people are usually more goal-driven. They're looking for the prize. They're motivated. They're passionate, and they lead towards priorities. Now, I want to say something go back to C for a second, and I. They are very both single-minded. So C is about the environment, the wholeness of the environment. I is about the prize. They're driven. They move towards that prize. They're focused. When they're ready to go for that prize, they go for it. Now, they're going to want to either be the prize, they're either going to draw attention themselves to find the prize. They are about the prize. Everything is about either being the prize or seeing the prize. Very single-minded, very single. There's no one or the other with these two needs. Now, value, they're more empathetic. They're more the feelers. They are about cost versus benefit. They have to feel a cost or feel a benefit to make a decision. So they can struggle with being indecisive. And so this individual can be a real challenge because they can be wishy-washy if they can't feel a cost or a benefit. And this one can be really super sensitive, and it can take longer to process emotions and communicate that. And they're going to move more at a steady pace if they're stronger in this needs. So these are the basic descriptions of how each of these individual needs of the needs languages process information. When you get an idea of how processing works, it can help explain how to communicate and where our behaviors come from. As parents, it can help guide us to help our children form healthy identity of self. It'll help them unfold themselves, which help our kids have successful outcomes in life and community creating healthy belonging, which us as parents, we would hope for. I'm hoping that this is something you would want as parents. So this week, in this chapter, we are introducing, in the next week, we're going to be introducing the needs languages. So I'm going to give you another quote from an unknown source. Listen and silent are spelled with the same letters. Think about that. The great thing is we can learn to listen to ourselves and our kids. As we learn to listen, we can give each other the freedom we desire to be ourselves and the skills so we can speak our needs and create healthy communities. I am excited for next week to teach you the needs languages. We're going to go into the combinations that make up the needs languages. I will give you the sources of where I got all the quotes from. So they should be in your workbook. Until next time, be well, be safe, be happy. Thank you.